So, here we are with the second part of the story. The story is continued. Till now in the story, we saw that uh, Murad had got the horse from somewhere and he invited Aram to fulfill his dream, his desire to ride it, and both of them went for the riding. Murad could control the horse in a better manner. Uh, but Aram was not able to, and then Aram felt that it was not the first time that Murad was riding the horse. He tried to inquire, but Murad did not say to him anything. And then, after they had hidden the horse, they both of them departed. Now that afternoon, my uncle Khushro came to our house for coffee and cigarettes. He sat in the parlor, sipping and smoking and remembering the old country. Then another visitor arrived, a farmer named John Byro. He was an Assyrian. He was not an Armenian. He was an Assyrian, but as he was the only one, so out of the loneliness he had learned to speak Armenian. My mother bought the lonely visitor coffee and tobacco, and he rolled a cigarette and sipped and smoked. And then at last, sighing sadly, he said, "My white horse, which was stolen last month, is still gone. I cannot understand it. He has lost his horse." Now this gives us an indication. It is almost a month since the horse was missing, and we could understand where the horse was. But Uncle Khushro was very sitting over there, and we know that he is a very irritable person. He became very irritated and shouted, "It's no harm. What is the loss of a horse? Haven't we all lost the homeland? What is this crying over a horse? That may be all right for you, a city dweller, to say," John Byro said, "but what of my Surrey? What good is Surrey without a horse?" Uncle Khushro just said that don't pay any attention to the horse being lost, but John Byro said that okay, it is good, it is fine for him to say, because he lived in city, but he had to travel to city, and he had a Surrey. Surrey is a small cart driven by the horse, something like our Ekka or Tanga. So he says that his Surrey is useless without a horse. So as usual, Uncle Khushro said, "Pay no attention to it." "I walked 10 miles to get here," John Byro said. "You have legs," my Uncle Khushro shouted. "My left leg pains me," the farmer said. "Pay no attention to it," my Uncle Khushro roared. "That horse cost me $60, the farmer said. "I spit on money," my Uncle Khushro said. He got up and stalked out of the house, slamming the screen door. He left the place. My mother, that is Aram's mother, she explained that he has a gentle heart, she said. It is simply that he is homesick in such a large man. The farmer went away and I ran over to my cousin Murad's house. Now he was bubbling with excitement, Aram, because he has come to know the real owner of the horse and the time when it was stolen. Now Murad was sitting under a peach tree trying to repair the hurt wing of young robin which could not fly. We see here another trait of Murad. He was kind to animals and birds. He was talking to the bird, and when he saw Aram coming, he could understand that there was something in his mind he was about to tell. So he asked, "What is it?" "The farmer John Byro," I said. "He visited our house. He wants his horse. You have had it a month. So I know whose horse is that. It is John Byro's. And I also know, Aram says that he also very well knew that how long he had been keeping the horse. Now he wanted a promise that unless and until he is also able to learn how to ride well, he will not return the horse." Murad said that it will take a year for him to learn how to ride. So Aram said, "No problem. They could keep the horse for a year." At this, my cousin Murad leaped to his feet. "What?" he roared. "Are you inviting a member of the Garoglanian family to steal? The horse must go back to its true owner." "When?" I said. "In 6 months at the latest." So here we see, though at one point he is trying to preach Aram that it is wrong for a Garoglanian member to steal the horse. Keeping a horse for 1 year was stealing. But then when asked that when he was going to return it, he said 6 months, so that keeping it was 6 months was not stealing. He threw the bird into the air. The bird tried hard, almost fell twice, but at last flew away, high and straight. Now, early every morning for 2 weeks, my cousin Murad and I took the horse out of the barn of the deserted vineyard where we were hiding it and rode it. And every morning the horse, when it was my turn to ride alone, leaped over grapevines and small trees and threw me and ran away. Nevertheless, I hoped in time to learn to ride the way my cousin Murad rode. So every day, for next 2 weeks, that was their regular routine. In the early morning, they both of them went out, trying to ride the horse. But every time Aram tried to ride alone, he was thrown off the back. But he was optimistic. He hoped that one day he will be able to ride the horse in the same fashion as his cousin Murad was doing. One morning on the way to Fatavia's deserted vineyard, we ran into the farmer, John Byro, who was on his way to town. One day, after their morning routine of riding the horse, they were going to hide the horse. They saw farmer John Byro. Murad told Aram that every talking will be done by him, and he knows how to deal with the farmers. Good morning, John Byro, my cousin Murad said to the farmer. The farmer studied the horse eagerly. He was looking at the horse. Good morning, son of my friends, he said. What is the name of your horse? My heart, my cousin Murad said in Armenian. A lovely name, John Byro said, for a lovely horse. I could swear it is the horse that was stolen from me many weeks ago. May I look into his mouth? Of course, Murad said. The farmer looked into the mouth of the horse. Tooth for tooth, he said. I would swear it is my horse if I didn't know your parents. Everything is same. And he says that if he didn't know their parents, maybe he would be tempted to say that the horse was his own horse which was stolen a month ago. The fame of your family for honesty is well known to me, yet the horse is the twin of my horse. A suspicious man would believe his eyes instead of his heart. Good day, my young friends. He says that, I know your family. The reputation of the family of being honest and truthful. Though the horse seems to be his own horse, but he would not accept it because he very well knew that these boys belonged to a family who were reputed for their honesty and who could never blame them for stealing his horse. Good day, John Byro, my cousin Murad said. But then, this was the thing which actually made the boys realize that whatever they were doing for fun was not exactly a thing for fun. They were doing something which was wrong. And that's why early the following morning we took the horse to John Byro's vineyard and put it in the barn. The dogs followed us around without making a sound. The dogs, I whispered to my cousin Murad. I thought they would bark. They would at somebody else, he said. I have a way with dogs. My cousin Murad put his arms around the horse, pressed his nose into the horse's nose, patted it, and then he went away. They returned the horse. Why they returned the horse? They returned the horse because that statement of John Byro, that if he had not known about the family of these boys, he would have been suspicious that they were the ones who had stolen his horse. That made these boys realize that whatever they were doing for fun and adventure was wrong. Taking away someone's thing without permission. And their act would put a blot on the reputation of their family. Now this made them realize that they were doing something wrong, and this realization made them return the horse. That afternoon, John Byro came to our house in his surrey and showed my mother the horse that had been stolen and returned. I do not know what to think, he said. The horse is stronger than ever, better tempered too. I thank God. My uncle Khushro, who was in the parlor, became irritated and shouted, "Quiet, man, quiet! Your horse has been returned. Pay no attention to it." Byro was very happy. He announced to narrator's mother that horse was better controlled and all that and seemed to be stronger. At the same time, there was Uncle Khushro also who was sitting over there, and as we know, he suddenly became very irritated. He said, "Your horse has been returned. Now pay no attention to it." So this was the complete chapter. Now I have added a few questions also to this presentation. The first question is, who stole the beautiful white horse and why? How did they use the horse and what made them return the horse to its true owner? So who stole the horse? Murad. They used it for riding. And what made them return? They, as the true owner of the horse and heard his confidence in the honesty of their family, the boys became conscience stricken. They understood that whatever they were doing was wrong, which would compromise the reputation of their tribe, of their family. And they realized that whatever they did was wrong. This could bring disgrace to their family. Thus, conscience stricken, they eventually returned the horse to its rightful owner. Second question. Compare and contrast the characters of Murad and Aram. Murad and Aram were cousins, 13 and 9 years old respectively. Both had a deep desire to ride a horse, but they belonged to a poor family. They were adventure loving. But Murad, he felt that taking a horse for a ride was not stealing, and so he took John Byro's horse. He was considered to be descendant of the crazy streak in the family. Aram was honest and simple-hearted, though he was very good in justifying the things. Murad was more talented and bolder than Aram. He domesticated the wild horse of John Byro. He repaired the injured wing of a robin bird that shows that he was kind to animals and birds. He knew how to deal with a horse, a dog, and a farmer. Comparatively, Aram was timid and low-lying. The next question, bring out some notable traits of Murad's character. 13-year-old, son of Zorab, considered as crazy as his uncle Khushro, did not hesitate to steal John Byro's horse to fulfill his desire, had a intense desire of riding a horse, but he was also very considerate because he invited his cousin Murad, cousin Aram, because he very well knew that he also had the desire to ride the horse. Then every day he was hiding the horse. He was a good horse rider, and he loved adventure and singing. He had a remarkable self-confidence, and he knew how to deal with the things and situation. But then we can say that he was not a thief, because when he realized his mistake, he finally returned the horse to its owner. Uncle Khushro. Uh, the narrator's Uncle Khushro was known to be a crazy fellow. Give a few instances of his craziness. Uncle Khushro was an enormous man with a large moustache. He was considered crazy by the people who knew him. He was furious by nature. He got easily annoyed. He was impatient. He would stop anyone by shouting at them, and his famous line was, "It's no harm, pay no attention." Once his own house was on fire and his son went to inform him about the incident, he shouted back at his son, saying him that it was no harm, pay no attention. He got irritated when John Byro spoke about his stolen horse and walked out of the room. He was a strange character, and as described by narrator's mother, homesick, though he was a man of large heart. So, that is all about this chapter. Thank you.